You might think you can spot a wealthy person by their appearance, the way they talk about money, and the car they drive, but chances are you're way off the mark. Have you ever judged someone's wealth based on superficial factors like these? It's time to rethink those assumptions because they rarely reflect someone's actual financial status. In fact, they're completely misleading. So, what are the real indicators that someone is secretly wealthy? Stick around because you're in for a surprise. My name is Chris, and I help teach people about money, personal finance, and investing. If you're interested in improving your financial future, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if this video is helpful. When it comes to fashion, the wealthy have a different vibe going on. It's unlikely you'll catch them splurging on fancy clothes, flashy accessories, or any article clearly indicating its cost. Instead, they're all about that laid-back, understated look, meaning no bling and no flashy logos. Picture this: simple tees, comfy jeans, maybe a classic jacket or two. Nothing too over the top. It's not that they can't afford the latest designer threads, it's just not their style. They value quality over quantity, opting for pieces that feel good and last long, regardless of the brand name. Besides, when you're genuinely wealthy, the idea of broadcasting it with flashy clothing isn't appealing. This relaxed approach to dressing isn't just about comfort, it's a statement about their priorities. While others might be all about flaunting their wealth, the wealthy know that true confidence and sophistication come from within, not from what you wear. By keeping it low-key, they're not just making a fashion statement, they're showing the world that broadcasting their ability to buy nice clothing is simply not a priority. You can usually tell someone's well off when they're not always chatting about money. In fact, they hardly ever mention the finances, while those who are struggling financially often find themselves constantly discussing how much things cost. Wealthy folks don't talk about their finances because they can buy whatever they want whenever they want it, within reason. So the ability or willingness to pay for something usually doesn't cross their mind, because if they want something, they're more than willing to shell out the cash. When dining out with the discreetly wealthy, you might notice that they don't even check the prices on the menu. Rather, they order exactly what they want regardless of price. The cost of living is going up? They hardly even noticed. They're taking the family on an overseas vacation next week? This is the first time they've even mentioned it. But on the other hand, folks with less money tend to stress about every penny, debating if they can really afford something or if they're really willing to part with the money before buying it. If someone hardly ever mentions the cost of something, it's an indication they're sitting on a pile of cash. You can often spot someone who's got some cash by how they don't feel the need to constantly brag about it. In fact, it's actually quite the opposite. Wealthy individuals typically don't feel the need to announce their financial status to everyone they meet. They're not going around shouting about how rich and successful they are. They actually like it when no one knows their true situation. For one, people treat them differently if they know they're rich. These folks are not the type to flaunt their money or possessions at every opportunity. Instead, they carry themselves with a certain ease and humility, not feeling the urge to broadcast their wealth to the world. Their laid-back attitude speaks volumes about their true prosperity and inner confidence. They understand that real wealth isn't just about the material things or the flashy displays. It's about feeling content with what you have and finding happiness in the simple moments of life without seeking validation from everyone around them. If you come across someone who seems to be doing well but doesn't feel the need to put it on display, chances are they're the real deal when it comes to being rich. They're living proof that true wealth goes beyond what's in your bank account. It's about having a genuine sense of fulfillment and satisfaction in life. If you never see an individual flaunting their stuff on social media, it might just be a sign they've got some serious dough. The secretly wealthy aren't the type to constantly post selfies in front of expensive cars, plaster their socials with photo ops at restaurants, share every waking moment of their entire vacation, and every other move they make that hints towards how much money they're spending. Instead of making their expenditures the center of attention online, they keep it quiet and occasionally share moments that are about life, family, and friends, not just luxury. While others might be busy flexing their designer outfits or annual vacations, the truly wealthy don't feel the need for all that showiness. It's like they feel bad for rubbing it in. They're more about genuine connections and meaningful experiences than seeking validation through likes and comments. Their laid-back approach to social media speaks volumes about their confidence and inner security. They understand that true wealth isn't about how much you flaunt online to hundreds of people they'll never even speak to again. Driving around in a low-key car instead of a shiny, late-model Mercedes-Benz, Cadillac, BMW, or Lexus might just be a sign they're far wealthier than one would guess. Instead of splurging on flashy rides, the wealthy are more likely to go for something practical and understated. The thing is, being rich doesn't always mean showing off with expensive wheels. A lot of affluent individuals opt for practical and modest transportation choices. Surprisingly, the most popular vehicles among millionaires include Toyota, Honda, Ford, and Subaru. They recognize that a car serves the simple purpose of getting them from one point to another, and they see no reason to show off their wealth while driving. Plus, there's something kinda cool about seeing someone who could afford any car they want, but choose to drive something modest. It shows that they're not all about appearances, and they value practicality over extravagance. If you see someone driving a modest car, don't be too quick to judge. They might just be rolling in the dough without needing to show it off. And just maybe they're using all that money they're saving on car payments, maintenance, and depreciation to do some really cool stuff, like traveling the world or investing time and money into their passions. You can spot someone who's seriously well off when they're not wowed by material stuff. They don't get a thrill out of shopping on Amazon, going to the mall, and they don't look towards material goods to make them happy. It's like they're completely fine with what they've got, and they don't feel the need to constantly chase after more. Instead of blowing cash on things, they're more into making memories and building relationships. They've realized that true happiness isn't found in owning tons of junk, but in living life to the fullest and connecting with others. As people grasp that happiness and fulfillment aren't necessarily tied to material goods, they often find themselves with more income to devote to other endeavors, ultimately speeding up their accumulation of wealth. When you see someone who's not all caught up in the latest trends or flashy gadgets, you can bet they've got some serious wealth stashed away. When it comes to identifying someone who's genuinely well off, it often boils down to their nonchalant attitude towards the opinions of others. With a comfortable financial cushion at their disposal, they go through life with a carefree demeanor, unfazed by societal pressures or expectations. They don't feel the need to boast about their 6-word job title, financial status, education, or responsibilities when meeting someone new just to impress them, and they certainly don't play the game of trying to one-up everyone around them. Their primary focus is their own happiness and aspirations, steering clear of the need to conform to external standards. The money they spend is solely for their personal satisfaction, and what others think is the last thing on their mind. Unlike those constantly seeking validation and approval, the truly wealthy exude a quiet confidence, secure in their ability to chart their own course and pursue their passions without needing the seal of approval from friends, acquaintances, and even strangers. It's not merely about the size of their bank account. True wealth lies in the freedom to live authentically and unapologetically. In a world where wealth often screams out in flashy displays, it's easy to miss the quieter signs of true prosperity. From their simple style to their laid-back attitude towards money, the secretly wealthy march to the beat of their own drum. Unlike those who constantly shout about their riches, these folks value privacy, stability, and real connections over flaunting their wealth. Their down-to-earth vibe, both online and off, shows they're comfortable in their own skin and don't need validation from others. Furthermore, they're humbled by their riches and don't want to rub it in to the less fortunate. By living life on their own terms and staying true to themselves, they embody the essence of true wealth. The next time you meet someone who doesn't fit the stereotype of wealth, remember, looks can be deceiving, and real riches come from within, not from the things we own.